welcome to another day of 31 Days of Horror. I'm your host, Stephen Bloodworth, filmmaker and indie film critic. Thank you so much for coming by. The 1980s is referred to by many horror fans as the golden age of horror films. Whether they were mainstream, independent, good, or bad, it just seems that everything that came out of the 80s was perfect. The Funhouse from 1981 is directed by Tobe Hooper, who is most notorious for directing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After directing Eaten Alive, Tobe Hooper threw his hat in the ring again with The Funhouse. The film centers around a group of teens on a double date, going to a local carnival. Before going, one of the girl's father urges her not to go because he says that the people responsible for the carnival were also responsible for the murders of 2 people. Obviously not taking any advice from their elders, the teens go to the carnival anyway. They go to the attractions that just about every carnival has: the freak show, the magician, and the fortune teller. They then come across the Funhouse, which is just essentially a cheesy haunted house ride. Before going in, the group decides that they're going to spend the entire night camping out in the Funhouse. After they jump off the ride, the carnival gets shut down and you see them inside smoking pot and having sex, typical of several horror films from the 80s. Below them, they can hear and see a man dressed in a Frankenstein costume about to get his rocks off by the woman who was the fortune teller. The guy in the costume is mad because he paid $100 for a hand job that lasted maybe 5 seconds. He wants his money back, the fortune teller won't have it, and he ends up killing the fortune teller. The man's father comes in and starts scolding him, and one of the teens accidentally drops a lighter through the floor, and they're caught. The father then instructs his son to go after them, since not only are they caught, but one of the kids stole money that they had earned from that day. And the guy in the Frankenstein costume takes his mask off, and somewhere along the lines, I think there might be a hint that there's some incest going on in this Carney family. And this guy goes ballistic, going on a complete rampage, going after these teens. The atmosphere is haunting, all these machines turn on by themselves, animatronics operate at random, and the jump scares are pretty damn scary even in 2020. Honestly, I wonder if Tobe Hooper got some inspiration from the Funhouse when he was doing Texas Chainsaw 2. Just imagine it, Leatherface versus Frankenstein, aka this Carney's inbred son. Now that I mention it, I can actually see some similarities between Leatherface and the killer from the Funhouse. Overall, The Funhouse is one of Tobe Hooper's best, next to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you're looking for something that's genuinely scary, then step right up to The Funhouse.